Former Chief Executive of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, Kojo Bonsu, is the latest to join the flag bearership race, we understand, of the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC. This brings the total of people hoping to lead the NDC in the 2020 elections to about 12. Speaking to JoyNews after submitting the letter of intent, spokesperson for Kojo Bonsu, Mohammed Al-Hassan, said their candidate's intention is not in any way a betrayal of the trust and friendship that he had with former President Mahama.
Well, Mr. Kojo Bonsu, we all know, is a member of the NDC, and he served in public office. He served as a private individual. This is a democratic dispensation where there's an opportunity for anybody who believes that he has the capacity and he is worthy of contesting and becoming the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress. He is very capable and ready, and he has decided that he's going to contest for the NDC flag bearership.
We all know that he's a very good friend of former President John Dramani Mahama. Others think that it's some sort of betrayal. Is that what it is?
Well, like I said, this is a democratic dispensation. We are all friends in the NDC. I don't think that one NDC member and the other NDC member are enemies. We are all friends, we are all family. This is a democratic dispensation. We are going for an election. Friends are standing. I don't think any of them are enemies. Once the delegates decide on the winner, we are all coming under one umbrella as the NDC to fight to regain power. So simply, this is a democratic dispensation, and we are all fighting for one common goal.
Or it's just a mind games to get the position of the running mate?
Well, like I said, mind game, no. We are serious. If we're not serious, I don't think that we would come from our homes, write an official letter, come and meet the General Secretary of the NDC and present a letter, and also send copies to the people that matter. I'm sure you heard that we went to meet the founder of the party, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, and then today we are here officially to let the party know that we are running. So we are not joking, we are serious.
You think he stand a chance going against the big guys? I'm sure. From former President Mahama to Gusitando, there are a lot of them. You think that Kojo Bonsu stand a chance of taking this?
This is politics. This is an election. I'm sure from time past, there have been elections, people have been shocked, people have had people voting for other people, and they're like, wow, this person won. So the delegates will decide, and we are confident. That is why we are running.
And you do know that in politics there's a lot of conspiracy theories, right? Well, we're not going to do conspiracy theories, at least not now, even though I'll try and push for Malik to tell me what the conspiracy theory is. He joins me here, Malik, so we can have a conversation on this. Malik Abbas is the deputy head of our political desk. It's good to have you once again. Your smile has just made my day. But let's talk politics. Surprised, are you?
Yes and no.
Okay, give me the reason for the yes, and we'll go to the no.
Yes, because we didn't see that coming.
Okay.
Given what he's done in politics, it's surprising that he would put himself up for presidency.
What do you mean by that, by the way?
Well, he doesn't really have stellar political qualities, or let me rephrase that. He doesn't have
he has not built a profile that
CV.
puts him there.
Yes, he does not have that political CV that you can say puts him in a pedestal where he can vie, or he should vie for presidency.
Oh, that puts him in a place where people easily saw him to be a
You go
candidate.
on the street and ask people who is Kojo Bonsu and see how many people you would find in the NDC saying they know him. That for me is one cardinal principle that we should look at in judging whether this is surprising or not. So,
but what does a stellar political career mean in this context, Malik? Is this you saying, or is this something that you can
apart from being mayor of KMA, what has he done in politics? Absolutely none.
Okay.
We know what he has done in sports. That's what we know. And then somewhere in 2010 or so thereabout, he had a stint with Goyle.
Okay.
He was made managing director of Goyle. And then afterwards, he went to KMA. And KMA was a very turbulent time for him, to the extent that eventually he had to be removed from that office. So that's all he's done on the political front that we know.
So the point, so if I get you right, what you're saying is that looking at his record so far with the things that he's had with politics, it's not the kind that you can easily juxtapose with those who are on the bill at the moment.
His CV in politics is way too short.
Okay.
For one not to be surprised that he's put himself out.
So that's the reason why you're surprised.
That's the reason I am surprised.
And no?
No, because this is a game of calculations and all manner of juggling here and there, and people have interests and they have to find a way to try and catapult those interests into fruition. So I am not surprised that he would put himself up, because every now and then you have unknown quantities in politics who put themselves up for elective office.
Okay. And that's where the conspiracy theories come in, right?
Absolutely. It is the reason why some believe that this is completely contrived.
Okay.
And those who say this is contrived have a point. What point do they have? Mr. Kojo Bonsu was the one who single-handedly or partly led the unity walks. We all know that those unity walks, and we have heard aspirants complain that those unity walks were all geared towards helping Mr. Mahama's campaign for the flag bearership of the NDC. Kojo Bonsu was one of the architects of the unity walks. Now, if that was done in furtherance of President Mahama's ambitions to lead the party once again and to hope to lead the country once again, and Kojo Bonsu now comes to put himself up for election, you can understand why some people see this as contrived. Okay. He's just doing this to last minute pull out and then throw his weight behind the former president and give a semblance of a certain gravitation towards the former president.
But if it's the gravitation towards the former president that he wants, then as you put it, the unity walk thing should have done it, right?
Yes, being an ordinary party member and backing the former president is not the same as running for president and pulling out and backing him. Okay. They are not the same. Okay. Because once you put yourself up that you are going for presidency, we wouldn't be talking about Kojo Bonsu today if he didn't do this.
Okay, but we had to, so it's putting him sort of in the spotlight.
Absolutely. Okay. So when he eventually pulls out and says, look, I'm backing former President Mahama, or in the unlikely event that he goes, and in the unlikely event that there is a runoff and he backs the former president, then his backing him will carry weight. So
you're saying that he's giving himself a certain level of relevance.
Absolutely. In order that when he backs the former president, it will carry weight.
It will carry weight.
Those who think this is contrived, this is their analysis.
Okay. So well, in politics, you know, we can play around with conspiracy theories. What happens more often than not is that sometimes you tend to see the conspiracy theories develop right before you, roll out right before you. Absolutely. But Mali, we understand that he went to see, from his people who went to present his letter of intent, that he had gone to see the former President Rawlings. And you see that all of them are going to see President Rawlings. All of them, before they send the letter of intent, they go to see Mr. Rawlings, which is, I mean, logically makes a lot of sense if you're looking at a logical flow of things. But then, what does this say of the former president now in the party? Isn't he also in a position to advise some of these people to say, I think you should not go, let's focus? I mean,
what would be his locus in doing that? If somebody comes to you and says, well, you are the elderly man in the house, I'm staking a claim for this, he can only wish them the best of luck. He can't say don't go. I mean,
he's been complaining about the party.
To say that is to appear to choose a side, something he's keen to avoid. You have to remember that not too long ago he has had to issue statements to publicly denounce attempts to link him as backing particular candidates, and he's had to do that. Now, to ask anyone not to go is to virtually give fuel to those rumors out there, and something he doesn't want to do. Right. He already is in a very difficult position, and people are running to him because some were viewed to be closer to him, like the Guzitanos, the Alban Bagbins, and all of these guys were regarded as being close to him. And so former President Mahama, in order to undercut that, went to see him.
So does it throw away the point that a lot of people have made, that well, it looks as if the founder of the party is losing his relevance or his hold on the party at some point.
I don't see how, if anything, these visitations actually should make nonsense of that argument. Because if the people go to him, you would have thought that everybody will completely ignore him. And if the people are still running to him, it tells you that they themselves recognize his relevance in the party, and that relevance is intact. It is the only reason why they will run to him, including former immediate past President John Mahama, under whose leadership you had all of these complaints. Even when he was vice president, you had the former president complain, and he didn't participate actively in the last election campaigns and all of that. But former President Mahama still found it necessary to go to him. And you have to remember that all of these are not required by the rules. And you heard General Secretary Asirin Ketia say that even these letters of intent are completely unnecessary. In fact, there are people who won't send them, but if they so wish, they will pick the nomination forms and they will be allowed to run as long as they qualify and meet the criteria set up by the party.
So number 12, it is Kojo Bonsu and his addition to the entire discourse. What does it add to the NDC politics?
It just generates a lot of excitement, but it also teaches one important lesson, that in politics you never make conclusive statements. You remember when the NDC's opponents were running in 2007, and you had about 16 candidates running for the presidency. It was regarded as vulgar and ostentation, and Asirin Ketia said there were 16 thieves that were gathering to select one of them to lead the party. That's what he said. Now, how many are in the NDC
12,
running so far?
Counting.
And still counting. Who would have thought that as many as 11, 12 people will stake out a claim for the flag bearership of the NDC. But it just generates a lot more excitement because all of these 11 or 12 people have pockets of support within the party. The activities that all of them will engage in, they will tour the country, they will go to constituencies, they will speak to delegates, they will provide transportation, they will share their ideas, they will mobilize the people. All of that generates a certain excitement within the party, and it will help the party to put aside the pain of the 2016 electoral
Which is what I was going to come to. I was going to ask you to finally tell me whether or not you think this sort of excitement will lead to, the healing of the party, or whether it will bruise sores.
I think it will not bruise sores because apart from Bagbin and a few others who are being critical of the former president, virtually all of them are playing it safe. And one can understand why. So I do not see it causing any major upsets within the party. What it will do is to help the party to deal with the apathy that affected it in the 2016 election. Because in the 2016 election, and as happened for all governing parties, there was a lot of apathy. There were many people who believed that their aspirations had not been met by the party in power, and so they simply sat on the fence and they thought that they were left out. The benefits of being in power did not extend to them, and so they sat back. You have all of these people now coming back and promising them, and you have heard Bagbin say consistently that, look, the party hasn't taken care of its people. When we come back into office, we have to take care of our own people. That should ginger them, that should motivate them, that should encourage them, that should lead to some renewed enthusiasm within the party, which is good for the party going forward.
Okay. Well, Malik, thanks for coming. Are you hearing of anybody next? Do we have any names in the pipeline?
Not yet. But we shouldn't be surprised if more come.
Okay, 12 and still counting. We shouldn't be surprised if more come. We will be here to tell you and to bring you all of the analysis that will help you to appreciate, the politics further. Certainly next month, November rather, promises to be a very heated political month for us. Malik, thank you so much for coming. Malik Abbas-Dabo is editor at myjoyonline.com. He's also deputy head of our political desk here at JoyNews.